Okay, ready? Okay. And now we are the telos quotation. Naropas. Teacher Telo. Tilopa, the Lord of Yogis, said to Naropa, Naropa, my son, until you realize it, that all those appearances which arise independently in reality have never arisen, never part. From the two wheels of your chariot, the two accumulations. Maybe this is a little bit difficult to understand. I would to say Naropas. Naropa did not necessarily true Naropas. My son, yes, Naropa, yes, need to. And Naropa, my son, the appearances of phenomena arise independently. The reality of these phenomena or until you realize it, no arising or never arising, never part, the meaning of that. Okay. I'm going different ways, but it's Naropa, my son, until you realized. Until you realize it, what you need to realize it. You need to realize it, they have never arise, never part. What this? These are the appearances. That all these appearances, whatever you appear, you have appearances, and they are the arrive, like they are the nature is the interdependent. Arise interdependently. What does it mean? Like present interdependently arise, past. Future is interdependently, it's present. Like this, cause and condition, this is like kind of the causalities. Everything is interdependently, not dependent. If there is no cause, then no result. Therefore, those appearances are surely comes from the cause. Everything is inevitable of the interdependently. But if we are really to analyze those appearances is empty of the source, emptiness of the budding place, emptiness of destinations. And therefore, actually, whatever appearances arising interdependently, they are no rising source, no path, some destination or destinations. But until you realize that you should do not separate this true will of your charities, means accumulation myriads. And here is the reality have never arisen, never part. And this one is maybe reality have never arisen, never part means never separate with the true wheels of your chariot, which is true accumulations. Maybe here is like kind of reality have never risen, never part. And this one is, I'm not sure there is both is exist in Tibet. Here is Dun Hieva Mepa Matopas, Dun Hieva Mepas. The meaning of the no arising, no born, or realize it have the meaning of the non born, never separate with two accumulations. Of course, you can to say in reality have never arisen, never part. That is the truth. But in this context, maybe this never part, never separate, doing the two accumulations from the two wheels of your accumulation. Because fully you need to realize that the empty natures, not only you understand conceptually emptiness, but still you need to make accumulation merit, because your understanding of the true nature emptiness and need to more and more to clearly and shine. And also great yogi Virupa says in his Dohas, like Virupa is India, one great masters. Doha is like kind of the more Mahamudra's teaching. And Doha is like kind of big commentary, like the commentary of the book by the Virupas, Brab. He says like this: you may have the great confidence of not hoping for relative Buddhahood, but never give up the great accumulations of the merit. Endeavors as much as you can, diligently. You may have the great confidence of the not hoping for the relative Buddhahood. What does it mean? And Buddhahood, when you say the Buddhahood, in the relatively, you can to say Buddhahood. I will become Buddhahood. I won't be Buddhahood. I try to apply to be Buddhahood. Maybe these glasses is not good, but my eyes. Sorry. And that is big kind of the point. And sometimes the state of the Buddhahood, primordially pure, essential nature, all the qualities of the concourse, three kayas, are perfect and complete from the very beginning. And without having to be sought, then what you need to talking about the Buddhahood. You are like kind of the beginning, primordially pure essential nature is Buddhahood. You are already Buddha. And then it's like what you are talking about in the relative point of view, Buddhahood. Maybe you understand innate wisdom of your primordial essential nature Buddhahood. Maybe you are not concerning about the talking about relative Buddhahood. Nothing hope for to be the Buddhahood, because you are already primordially endowed all the qualities of the conquerors, like three kayas, all the wisdoms. Then we can just make joke. Maybe you have your own, like one cup, or we can see this kind of cup. But you see it's like another, there's exactly the one cup, but you forgot what you have. Then you say, oh, I want that cup. That cup's very nice. We are trying to ask many people, can I get this cup, this cup? everybody say, yes, you can to get. You try to collect this cup. But this same as your cup, the others. You put effort a lot. And finally, someone says, you have this cup. Huh? I have? Yes. Oh, this is same as the others. This is your cup, same, no difference. Then it's like whatever we put effort to get other this cup, it becomes useless. Because you have your own cup there. Exactly like this. In the relatively, we are talking about the relatively Buddhahood. Put hope and to say, may other sentients to be in the Buddhahood. May I will become the Buddhahood. You are not Buddhahood? No. I'm contaminated. That if you do not understand, yes, that's right. But this we can to talk more and more later. I don't want, but he said, not hoping for the relative Buddhahood means that you are like the primordially pure essential nature, all the qualities of the conquerors, for instance, three Kayas, wisdom, already at the beginning, inherently endowed with your nature, in the nature of your mind. Then what? If you realize that, then you don't need talking about the Buddhahood. Even maybe you are like done. Maybe you are like kind of be part of the seeing something. Realize that. You are not necessarily talking or hoping to the Buddhahood, relative Buddhahood. But still you should do accumulations. But never give up the great accumulations of merit and wisdoms. You should put effort, endeavor as much as you can. And it's very important. And also, when you are talking about not hoping for the relative Buddhahood, that you understand your nature qualities. Maybe someone's concerning the primordial pure essential nature comes from accumulation merit, but inherently, primordially, it not exist into your mind, which is all the qualities of the conquerors. For instance, three Kayas, wisdom, so on. And that perspective, maybe this quotation is a little bit, it doesn't corresponding. And that perspective, you should to have hope, because in the relative Buddhahood you think, through the relative Buddhahood means you again or obtain through the accumulation merit. Like inherently not into your mind. In some others, not like this. And primordially, pure essential nature is there. Then you realize that you don't need to talking about the relative Buddhahood. It's your nature, essential nature realities, or the quality of the conquerors. It's not really come from the two accumulations. These two accumulations to make kind of the conditions, but not direct cause. That is kind of the different. For example, as I said, first some ideas, and the relative Buddhahood is twofold purity of the Buddhahood, before we say. But I take example myself. There's some first like kind of concerners, they say, my mind is contaminated. My mind is at the moment lot of full of the negative emotions. It's not Buddha. And if I do two accumulations, merit and wisdoms, then it can bring into my mind this twofold purity of the Buddhahood. For instance, as I said before, accumulation merit make cause, direct cause. It can bring all the luminosity or the Rupa Kayas. Kayas, conquerors, the qualities of the conquerors. Like kind of the new, it comes from the accumulation merit. In order to have this purity Kayas, the accumulation of wisdoms to make the condition to attain to the qualities of the conquerors of Rupa Kayas. And then accumulation merit of the wisdoms to make the direct cause and Dharmakaya, the purity of the Dharmakaya Buddhahood. And then it's like accumulation merit be kind of the condition. And then it's this twofold purities, it comes from the accumulation merit. It's not inherently existent into your mind, but through that your accumulation merit, the two accumulations achieve the result like this. And then is the second concerners I want to say, I'm saying second, or maybe it's the first, I don't know, second, is concerning, like the quoting these quotations, not hoping for the relative Buddhahoods. All the primordial purities, primordially, inherently, the qualities of the conquerors, kayas, wisdoms, existence, not comes from the accumulations. Both accumulations can become the conditions. Like one is a seed in order to ripen or the maturate, and seed itself need to ripen. But fertilize cannot to ripen. Fertilize is kind of condition to can help. Exactly like this. Maybe through the accumulation merits can kind of condition or the cause in order to shine out the Rupa Kayas and make the more condition by the accumulation of wisdoms and the Rupa Kayas, the purity of the Rupa Kayas, or the qualities of the conquerors Rupa Kaya shine out. And accumulation of the wisdoms make cause and condition to shine the qualities of the Dharmakayas. And through that, all the qualities of the Kayas, wisdoms just shine out. These two accumulations are the kind of the conditions. Like a kind of sun is shining in the sky, never ever cover over, obscured by the clouds. But in the between there is some white and black cloud. But this cloud is not existent in the sun itself. Sun's luminosities, whatever sun has qualities, inherently sun itself has. When is a cloud is obscuration of cloud is disappeared, then sun he got light, not like this. Sunlight is all the time shine, but sometimes temporarily, relatively, the cover of it. That is the difference. Therefore, he is the hoping for the relative Buddhahood, not hoping. If you understand the primordial purity, sensual nature, quality of the conquerors, all your own, completely from the very beginning there, that you understand, then is you don't need talking about relative Buddhas like this. But you understand that until you completely rely on, and the Virupa saying, you should continue to do the as much as you can to do to accumulation merit. And also it says, and the peerless Dagpo Rinpoche says, even when your realization transcended the very notions of the there being, anything to accumulate or purify, continue still to accumulate even the smallest amount of merit. Maybe in your perspective, we have here is the two kind of accumulation, purifies, accumulate or purified. Accumulation and purified means accumulated virtues, like Mandala offerings, 100,000. Like this is you accumulate. This accumulates purified. Purified obscuration, negative emotions, adverse conditions, so on. Maybe you accumulate perfect, and according that your obscuration purified quite a lot. But even when your realization, here is the transcendent, means it's like kind of your purified, perfect, through the accumulations. All is like perfectly transcendent, very notions of their beings. Anything to accumulate our purity. Continue still to accumulate even the smallest amount of the merits. Your kind of accumulate is a lot, purified, perfect, and then it's like kind of the transcendent, all obscurations itself is to done, finish it. But still you should to continue to do accumulation at smallest amount. Benefit maybe yourself not necessary, but maybe benefit for others. That is why we need true accumulation of merit. And also is when we are like different methods in order to do the accumulation merit. Without doing accumulations, it doesn't matter any kind of traditions concern us. It cannot to attain the twofold purity of the Buddhahood. But these true accumulations are the not the real cause, that give rising to the true kayas, all the wisdoms, the qualities of conquerors. And like kind of these true accumulations, more contributory condition, like we can to say is to term the causes. But reality is, of course, our primordial essence nature that is not really necessarily. And in the Buddhist path, the practitioner of the Buddha's path viewpoint, from the Shavaka, Pachika Buddhas, up to the perfect great enlightenment Bodhisattvas or Buddhas, can be attained without accumulating merit and wisdoms. We cannot. Therefore, we say, needed this to accumulation merit. Of course, nevertheless, the methods for the gathering the true accumulations are not all completely the same for the practitioner's point of view. They are kind of the different. Maybe we need to know about that. For instance, ordinary people to stop the 10 negative actions to doing the 10 positive actions. That is also doing accumulation merit. And through the body, difficult to say the connect to the six transcendent. But through the weekend to the body, speech, mind, if you give up this negative, 10 negative actions, for instance, you stop the killing, and that is like kind of the discipline, and you give a life and to take give refuge to some dangers, some beings, like to maybe losing lives, you are safe. Release life sometimes. And some give food, cloth, shelters, helpings, supporting physically. This is the generosities. Put effort, diligent, concentrated thinking. Oh, I stopped to killing. It's meditative concentration. But difficult to have wisdom to realization of the empty natures. Like very much appearances, concrete appearances, and concept. Difficult to have non-conceptual realizations. But of course, this kind of to accumulation merit can result high rebirth, like human, God, something. And also it's like kind of not necessary reborn again, low realms. This kind of accumulations. Then in the Buddhist practitioners, we can to look at the Shavaka, Pachika Buddhas. They also to making the accumulations of the merit, like concept, like concentration, meditate, and also do practice, discipline, to keep the perfectly moral discipline, and then they practice a lot of concentration samadhis. These are the accumulation merit concept. And also they understood some non-self, like we can to say individual and the phenomena. Of course, their realization is a little different. Pachika Buddha, Shavaka Buddhas, that you already studied. But gross non-self of phenomena or the individual of the non-self, that is the non-concept accumulation of the wisdoms. And through these accumulations, then they finally to reach the arhat. And achieve the Shavaka, perfect, the arhats. But that is not kind of the ultimate Buddhahood. In the Bodhisattva's perspective, accumulation of merit with concept comprised the 5 transcendent perfections. For instance, start or the front, generosity, discipline, so on. those are the related to the perfect practice of the skillful means, the aspect of the skillful means. And the accumulation merit of the wisdom without concept, the perfection of the transcendent wisdom. And therefore, these two accumulation merit to accumulate 3 countless eons, then they are reach two-folder purities of the Buddhahood. And their Buddhahood is real Buddhahood, longer journeyed, but really. And of course, those Bodhisattvas, each transcendent perfections, the great transcendent, the 6 transcendent. Like, for instance, generosity, so forth. And each individual, these 5 transcendent, need with the wisdom emptiness. Wisdom emptiness aspect enhance each individual the 5 transcendent perfections, and then they are become the perfect transcendent. And through this, then they like kind of reach perfect two-folder purities of the Buddhahood. And of course, some in the beginners, difficult to practice unification of these 2 accumulation merit. Maybe sometimes to a little acting, more concept like the accumulation merit. Like to do the generosity, keep discipline, diligent to do virtues, meditate, so on. And sometimes to meditate on the transcendent perfection of the wisdoms. Alternately, it's very important to do it. Maybe we are more become the advantages our minds to understand the reality. Maybe if you rely on the teacher to study very well, your mind is more approach to the nature reality, empty natures. Sometimes you have certainty, understanding. Oh yeah, now the nature of this phenomena is like this. Maybe not really to maturate it into your mind, but conceptually you understand that. Maybe through that also you to able to see the nature realities, inconceivable, confidence arise into your minds. Maybe that mind, that point, you can to practice the unification or combine the accumulation merit and wisdoms. For instance, when you're making generosities generosity relate to the body or virtue or belonging things, these three things, or generosity like kind of give refuge, this dharma, any. But same time your action, this action is enhanced by the empty natures. Then is you doing accumulation, is the together. And same time is no conceptualizations enhance. Then it's like kind of you are like on the perfect two accumulations. That is the necessary. And also it's like when we are thinking the doer of the accumulation meritus, maybe actually the many really the accumulations, merit and wisdoms, thus itself may be the same, many different, but the doer of the accumulation merit are quite different. Which kind of the difference? The first is like the different of the cause. Second is the like concentration or like kind of the focal object. And of course is the different attain or the result. For instance, in the ordinary perspective, of course, it's like the cause of the motivation is very much concerning self. Focal object is also concept. The result is maybe attained human realm, maybe God or something. In the Buddhist, really in the practitioners, the 3 point of view, 3 point of the view, which is the Shavaka, Pachika, Buddha, Bodhisattvas, is also different. Cause and also is like focal object, the result. The cause of the motivation, Shavaka, Pachika Buddhas, is concerning maybe a little sentient being, but most time they concern self. Then the drawing accumulation is a little bit low, not perfect. Focal object, not thinking about the limitless sentient beings. Just self, I want to be a heart. Then the result, the consequences, of course, we're talking about our heart. Our heart is the arhat, perfect arhat. They are not arhat, but not perfect arhat of the Buddhahood. Bodhisattvas, the motivation is completely, cause of motivation, absolutely thinking sentient beings. Focal object is limitless sentient beings, never concerning self. The consequence result is the different because of the perfect Buddhahood. And therefore there is the concept without concept, a little bit doing and kind of the different. And also it's like in the Mantrayana's perspective, outer Mantrayanas, there is a kind of characteristic meditations and non-characteristic meditations. We sometimes, it is said, with the concept are the accumulation of merit or image married with concept, no image without concept. This kind of yogis also doing same as accumulation merit. And the inner Mantrayanas, of course, mother Tantras, the accumulation merit concept of the generation phase is related to the skillful means, accumulation of the merit with concept. And the same time is they have the wisdom, which is the wisdom of the complete dissolution aspect. That is the more without concept accumulation merit. And mother Tantras doing accumulation merit through the generation stage or phase and dissolution stage or phase. This is like kind of the true accumulation merit, more fast, more quickly. And the more and the further yogas or the further Tantra, and rely on the more kind of the generation, but generation is same as the mother Tantra, not many, just symbolic, more meditate on the dissolution aspect. In the dissolutions aspect, they more focus on the channels, bindus, airs. And at the same time, they have great different yogi exercise. Those are the all the part of the skillful means, accumulation merit, and you can to say is accumulation merit with concept. And through these bindus, channels, air, and these kind of great skillful methods, and then they are like kind of the arousing from that like kind of the arise for joyful things, which is the wisdom. The primordial wisdom brought about by these four joys. Joy, extreme joy, inherent joy, and so on, that arise through this skillful practice, constitute the accumulation of the wisdom without concept. And also it's like the highest unification, the mantrayana of the Ati Yoga. Of course, the view of the alpha purities cutting through. And that is the essence, emptiness, accumulation of the wisdoms. And then is the nature, spontaneous present of clarities, which is accumulation of the merit, and through that to have four appearances: the appearances of the direct, appearances of inquiry, appearances of the complete, appearances of the exhaustions related to the alpha purities, which is the wisdoms. And through that, then they done to accumulations, and they attain absolute for the purities of the Buddhahood. And therefore, this method of the drawing accumulation merit, they are a little bit different type of the each individual practitioners. That is, I think you know, we should to study. Now we understood that why we need to accumulation merit, why we need to do Mandala offering of the accumulation merit. And also we a little bit to kind of mentioned each individual practitioners, different levels, followers, different methods. But best is our Mandala offering accumulation merit related to the generation stage and dissolution stage, more inner centers. And in that perspective, we need to have the perfect view of the pure perception or view of the alpha purities. Understand primordial purity, the qualities of the phenomena, the essence nature of the phenomena. This one is main into our minds, And through that, the movement of body, speech, mind is related to the virtue, particularly like this kind of action, Mandala offerings. Of course, also there is other accumulations to stop the killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, liar, gossip, this so on. This is also accumulation merit, but now is Mandala offerings more specific. Here is related to the creation stage, dissolution stage. Here is the best of all these methods. As I told you, mentioned different methods. Shavaka's methods, Pachika Buddha's methods, Bodhisattva's methods. Each individual's, their different methods. But best of all the methods, this is the offering of the Mandala is the best methods. Extraordinary superiorities. Here is in the suttas, or in the Tantra says, to offer to the Buddhas in all Buddha field, entire cosmos of billions world, replete with everything that could be desire, will perfect the primary wisdom of the Buddhas. What does it mean? If you are imaginately visualize, for example, like when we practice the Mandala offerings, we have holding one symbolic mandalas, and these mandalas are the entire cosmos of the billions world. Entire cosmos of a billions worlds. And replace with everything that could be desires. Whatever you have desire, like desirable, most which is the form, is beautiful form, sound, smells. You entire cosmos of the billion world completely full. Everything that could be desires. This billions world, it is, imagine the Buddha field. This kind of Buddha field, like the size of the entire cosmos of the billions world, offered to the Buddha's field, what you are offered. Everything that could be desired. Then it's like you imagine you offered like this, how much is benefit? The perfect, the primordial wisdom of the Buddhas. Automatically perfect, completely you can do it. Complete. Through that complete, perfect primordial wisdoms can shine out or coming out. And therefore here is like even the imagine if you do like Hipartas. Now here is the actually our like kind of the mandalas. Oh, what time? Finished. Okay. Now maybe we need to stop there, guys. And today's maybe there is of course no question. And then is tomorrow Kambo and Lopon's teachings more please to listen and to a little bit to study very well like this. Thank you very much for your attention. And like this today, like this, sonam da tamchi zikpanya, tolini pedana pampi, here gana chivalam. Supun solindo gandova sho, shonchu sencho rumbochi, mahi pana hiderchi, hipanyamba mepa. Koni kondam perva sho. Bye bye la. Ah.